Welcome back to Secrets Behind the Stars. I hope your day is full of light and good vibes, because we're about to dive into a topic that has been buzzing across timelines and group chats. Today, we're unpacking the connection that so many fans have felt but can't quite define between two names that echo throughout Turkish entertainment, Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir. Yes, you heard that right. We're going to sift through the whispers, the clues, and the moments that made everyone wonder if what we saw on screen ever spilled into real life. Before we plunge in, a quick reminder, if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our new videos. Your support helps us keep telling the stories you love. Get comfy, because we're going to revisit how this all began, why it ignited so much speculation, and how fans have kept that flame alive. Throughout this video, we'll look back on the most talked about moments, decode what admirers think they're seeing, and hold a steady lens on the truth we can actually infer. Is their bond the strength of a deep friendship, the shadow of a romance, or the lingering afterglow of on-screen magic that audiences couldn't forget? Let's walk through it, together. To understand the chatter around Can and Demet, we have to return to the series that launched their chemistry into the stratosphere. When they played opposite each other in that rom-com universe where all the right glances were held just long enough and the banter felt unforced, a spark caught fire. On screen, the electricity between their characters was unmistakable. Every near touch, every look that lingered a heartbeat too long, every scene where laughter cracked through the scripted lines, people watched and thought, this doesn't feel like acting. That is what talented performers do at their best. They make us wonder where the role ends and the person begins. But the curiosity didn't fade when the cameras cut. After the series wrapped, the public glimpsed Can and Demet together in ways that had fans raising eyebrows and replaying clips. Event sightings. Joint interviews with those relaxed smiles. Social media snapshots that seemed casual yet felt intimate. Birthday shout-outs that were a little more thoughtful than the usual emoji parade. Messages of encouragement when one had a new project. Even a couple of getaways that fans pieced together like detectives combing through the corners of Instagram stories and travel tags. It all fed the narrative of a bond that went beyond co-star courtesy. And this is where the fan factor becomes the engine of the story. The people who follow Can and Demet are fiercely loyal and emotionally invested. They don't just watch a show and move on, they attach to the feeling it gives them. For many, the idea that Can and Demet might have built something deeper than a professional friendship transformed into a quiet wish, and then a thunderous hope, nourished by every rumor and every photograph that supported their theory. Who can blame them? When two people glow this brightly together, it's natural to dream that the connection is real. Let's look at the signals that stirred the pot. There were the warm comments on Instagram, the playful captions, the candid images where they seemed at ease in each other's orbit. Interview moments where each spoke of the other with unfiltered admiration. Can repeatedly praised Demet's craft and discipline, noting how effortless it felt to meet her scene for scene, and how much he respected her instincts in emotional beats. Demet, in return, talked about Can's relentless work ethic, his generosity on set, and how his energy could lift an entire crew. None of this is proof of romance, of course, but it is proof of a partnership that meant something to them both. Here's the million-dollar question, what does it all add up to? Are we seeing the edges of a love story, or the rare kind of friendship that forms in the trenches of long shooting days and delicate scenes? The honest answer is that only Can and Demet could truly define it, and it's their prerogative to keep what they want private. Still, the admiration between them is hard to miss, and that alone is beautiful. In this industry, where the line between work and life blurs under bright lights, people can develop a connection that's hard to explain. When your job requires you to embody love, longing, trust, and heartbreak for months on end, the intimacy of that process is unlike anything else. It creates a language only the two of you speak. If we pull back the curtain a bit, their special bond seems to be a mix of powerful on-screen alchemy and a real-world rapport carefully carried beyond the final episode. They knew how to keep the public included just enough, appearing together when it mattered, letting fans peek into moments that felt authentic, never forced. Even without a label, their understanding of each other appears genuine, and the affection, palpable. They navigated the very specific storm of fame at the same moment: tabloid lenses, international fan love, the scrutiny that arrives with every new headline. To have someone beside you who understands that strange pressure can be a lifeline. Shared circumstances forge ties that aren't easy to define but are impossible to ignore. It's fascinating to watch the narratives that fans build. In the case of Can and Demet, the storylines have been rich, layered, and full of anticipation. Shippers pour their hopes into edits, threads, and theories, and every appearance the two make becomes a breadcrumb for the next chapter. There's a cycle at play, a mutual reinforcement where fans cheer on the connection they believe in, and the duo's tangible fondness keeps that belief alive. Of course, it's also worth acknowledging that appearances can mislead. Social media is a curated gallery. Public figures present what they want the world to see. And yet, the transparency and warmth that Can and Demet convey in their moments together still ring true to many, even through the prism of brand and image. Think about the ingredients that naturally bind them. Both are ambitious, charismatic, and in demand. Both navigated overnight international attention. Both learned how to carry a show's emotional spine without buckling. That parallel journey builds empathy. It's easier to lean on someone who has been pushed by the same waves, who knows the unglamorous parts that never make it to the glossy cover. Whether their connection sits squarely in friendship or inches toward a private romance, the center holds because it's built on respect, trust, and shared experience. Let's not forget how those early scenes rippled outward. The laughter that felt unscripted, the stolen looks that became gifs in every timeline, the confessions whispered in quiet frames that could make a living room feel like a movie theater. Audiences believed them. That belief didn't end with the final episode. It traveled into red carpet photos, festival appearances, brand campaigns, and supportive posts. When Kin was faced with a new challenge, Demet's nod of encouragement didn't go unnoticed. When Demet stepped into a big opportunity, Can's applause wasn't faint. Fans connected those dots into constellations. There have been peaks and pauses, of course. Times when they drifted into different projects in different countries, and the rumor mill cooled. Then, a surprise interaction would ignite it again. A like here. A comment there. A candid encounter watched through grainy footage. The rhythm of it all kept hope alive without ever writing the final line. Maybe that's part of the magnetism, the unanswered question. The story that resists being pinned down has staying power. And with every year that passes, their dynamic gains another layer of history, a shared archive only they can fully read. From a practical point of view, it's easy to see why they guard their boundaries. Fame can turn private moments into public property. Protecting what matters means choosing silence sometimes, choosing ambiguity, choosing to let the work speak. Even so, the clues they have allowed into the world show a compatibility that's hard to fake. Watch the old interviews again and note the small tells, the mutual listening, the inside jokes, the way tension dissolves into a grin. Those are the artifacts fans treasure, and the reason the conversation never really stops. So where does that leave us? With a truth that is both simple and compelling. The bond between Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir is the product of unforgettable on-screen chemistry, a mindful post-series friendship, and a unique connection that blossoms when two people weather the same spotlight. Maybe it remains a strong, platonic alliance. Maybe it has been, at times, something more, or could be again. What's undeniable is the foundation, admiration, gratitude, and a tenderness that doesn't need a label to be real. The mystery around them, paired with the evidence of genuine care, is exactly what keeps fans so enthralled. We've come to the end of today's deep dive into their story. We retraced that spark from the set, examined the moments that fueled so many theories, and reflected on the way fandom shapes and sustains a narrative. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe there's more than friendship between Can and Demet? What do you make of connections born under the bright lights of a set, carried into real life with all its challenges? Share your thoughts, predictions, and takes in the comments. I love reading them and talking with you. If you enjoyed this video, if it made you think or brought back memories of those unforgettable scenes, please give it a like, share it with fellow fans, and don't forget to subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars. Stay with us for more stories from the world where fame and feeling collide. Until next time, take care and keep the conversation going.